Hey guys, what's up? It's Uncle Zunky. Welcome to an in-between Iron Man progress episodes video. Unfortunately, I have been working on some very long-term goals on my Iron Man right now, and there has not been a whole lot of stuff to record due to that. Lots of fishing, and fishing is a very slow skill and does not lend very well to recording stuff. However, there was a poll fairly recently, and this is allowing Iron Man access to every boss in the game. Previously, you could not access Virago or Rise of the Sixes in Iron Man, and you can now kill any boss with other Iron Men as well in teams, which is going to be awesome when this comes out. So I was going to show off some of the stuff, some of the short-term goals that I'm working towards in order to prepare for when this update launches. So I have set myself 3 main goals in order to start PVMing on Iron Man, and I've reached one of these goals, almost reached the second one, and really have a long ways to go with the third, probably the most difficult one, which is achieving overloads on an Iron Man. So how most Iron Men train Herblore is by putting all the XP that you can get and any means necessary into Herblore. This is personally what I'm doing, and I also have managed to gather a lot of herbs from killing stuff. Killing elves and Prifddinas is one of the best ways to gain herbs, because if you kill the melee ones, they drop the materials to make a lot of super strength, super defense, and they drop a lot of irrits as well. So they're great for training Herblore. I camped them for a while, and I'm almost up to 90 Herblore, which is also going to unlock another dude in ports, which is great. And then the second goal is going to be getting all tier 80 weapons. So I have not quite achieved this one yet because I don't have tier 80 melee, but I do have an attuned crystal bow, a royal crossbow, and a chaotic staff, and there will be better weapons to obtain in the future, namely the stuff from Araxor, the Noxious weapons. However, this is as good as I'm going to be able to get for a while, and the level 85 weapons from ports will come in time, but it's going to take months and months to achieve those, so that's much more of a longer term goal. But 80 weapons are enough to start PVMing. And finally, the goal that I have actually achieved is 95 prayer, and this is handy because it unlocks Turmoil, and you get Soul Split as well. So I achieved this one fairly recently, so I have access to Turmoil, I have curses unlocked, all the quests done, and this is going to be incredibly handy for PVM. So the main thing to focus on right now is getting overloads, but those are probably the 2 biggest things that are going to help out with PVM and what I'm working on right now. On top of those 3 main goals that you probably want to get out of the way as an Iron Man for PVM, I've also set 5 smaller goals, and most of these goals are going to take much longer. The first one is a pretty general one, but this is to get a lot of Ceradoan Brew and Super Restore flasks. I have a decent amount of Ceradoan Brew potions. I have yet to do the quest to unlock the ability to make flasks, because it just might be the worst quest in the game in my opinion, but I'll get that one done eventually. I have a ton of Snapdragons left over to make Super Restores as well. And the second thing is gather a lot of high level food. One of the easiest ways to do this is by doing temple trekking for sharks. If you do mostly the hard path, you can get around 500, even 600 sharks per hour, so it is quite fast. It's pretty good cooking XP doing that too. I most likely will be camping temple trekking for a lot of food once I get a higher cooking level in order to cook it, because I'm not even 80 cooking yet and I would just burn a lot of stuff. Next up is 96 summoning, and this is not quite as important for PVM at least as the Herblore and prayer is, but having a yak is also very important just because the fact it holds 30 spaces, so you can store a lot of food in there, and also the yak pouches are much easier to obtain than the war tortoise pouches. However, this isn't quite as important because the war tortoise will do for at least the short term. And the final thing is 2 objectives rolled into one, and this is ports. Now, doing ports does take a very long time in order to unlock the armor and the weapons. 2 objectives because the armor and the weapons are a little bit different, and it takes a lot longer to unlock the weapons than it does to unlock the armor, because you have to rely quite a bit on RNG in order to get the pieces for the weapons. However, they're both very long-term goals. Now, ports armor is great on Iron Man because in Iron Man you have to get all your own supplies, so saving supplies is very important. You want to be using as little food as possible, so wearing the best tank armor in the game is going to help out quite a bit with that. And then for the ports weapons, gathering the level 90 mage and range weapons is an extremely long and time-consuming goal. So in the meantime, tier 85 weapons can tide you over. They're not much worse than the tier 90s, and they are cheaper to repair, so they can be good for Slayer as well. However, that's a very long-term goal, and it's going to take months to get there. I'm almost to the 4th zone in ports personally, but again, it's not going to be for quite a while until I start to unlock some of these armor and get them built in order to PVM with. Alright gents, well that's what I'm doing in order to prepare for Iron Man PVM that will hopefully be coming out soon. And when it does, I'll be doing a lot of Kalphite King in order to get some Drygores, and that should be awesome. potentially the first tier 90 weapons on this account, depending on when Kalphite King is released for groups. But other than that, I'm working on 90 fishing for Tetsu armor, as well as the ability to AFK Rocktails, which will be a lot of fun, but unfortunately it's also very slow, so it's going to take a long time for me to get there, and I don't know when the next Iron Man Progress episode will be coming out, but hopefully soon. So I will continue watching this extremely derpy and choppy fishing animation, but until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and farewell.